We'll identify more of these athletes now that they are underway. But they're looking for 62 seconds per lap, which is 2:35 per kilometre. And that would take them to 3,745 and set them up nicely for a sub-13-minute time. And that really is the benchmark these days of the very top level of world-class racing. Another Briton going here, Andy Butchart, was 6th in Rio over 5,000 metres, ran a good indoor mile, 3:54. He's on record over the last few days saying that he believes that his teammate Mo Farah is beatable. And Kamworror, who could be the real danger, he's in 4th place at the moment in that red vest. He's on record as saying in the Kenyan media that he believes he will win this race today. I've always been a fan of letting my legs do the talking. But Farah back in about 8th or 9th place at the moment, just loping along, looking quite comfortable.
Struck, you mentioned that we spoke to Mo Farah in the press conference on Friday. Struck me how relaxed he was looking and sounding. He's not one to talk a good game unless he really feels it. And he said he's enjoying his training. He's enjoying being out there. And when we talked to him about Kamworror, he said, well, I'm delighted.
The pacemaker at the moment is the first of 3. Riley Masters, the 27-year-old American, taking them round. He's a 13-17 athlete himself. He's hoping to go out for the first 3 or 4 laps, his Masters. And they go through 800 there in about 2:02. Running into quite a strong wind up the back straight there. You could see Masters leaning into it just then. But it is single file because the pace is quick. In 2nd place is Stephen Sambu, who was a late addition to this pacemaker field. Kamworror looks very much up for this. He's in 4th place at the moment. The man who back in late March, some 8 weeks ago, lifted the world cross-country title, retained his title from China in 2015. He's still only 24 years old, is Kamworror, and he has enormous strength. Remember, last year in March, he won the world half marathon title despite taking a very heavy fall right at the beginning of the race. And he beat Mo Farah on that occasion. He's a strong man. He's run a 2:06 marathon. That's Kamworror in 4th place in the red. And the indications for me, Chris, are that because he's run so aggressively right up there on the heels of the 3 pacemakers, he's out to make this quick. I think he wants to really try and hurt Farah here with the mid-race pace.
Well, they've tried so many tactics over the years, haven't they? You mentioned the World Championships there, where we thought there'd be a collective effort to try and break the will and the resistance of Mo Farah. It didn't work. And over the last few years, as we've seen at Olympic Games and World Championships, as well as in the Diamond League, whatever tactics they seem to throw at Mo Farah, he always seems to have an answer. And he said he's quite good at dealing with the pressure. And he said, bring it on. He loves it.
Well, let's go over to the women's high jump now, where Shante Lowe, World Championship silver medalist back in 2005, is in action. Here is the American, the bar at 1.84 for Lowe. Cleared her open at 1:79, okay. Oh, no. Lots of speed. She's a very, very aggressive athlete when it comes to that approach. Huge acceleration in the last 3 or 4 strides, but for Shante Lowe, I'm afraid that is a failure. And that could prove expensive later on. Back to this 5,000 metres, though. Look at the size of that field. It's enormous. It's just as well it's quick. They go through 4 laps in around 4:08 there. He's doing a very good job. Is Riley Masters looking to maintain this 62-second tempo. Mo Farah back in about 10th place now, sporting the sunglasses, looking very, very relaxed indeed. In fact, probably about 12th in the red strip. And this is an unforgiving pace, it really is. It's going to be quick. It's very warm. The official temperature, I think, came up as 22, 23 degrees centigrade, but it feels more like 26, 27 sitting up here in the stands. They've got a slight tailwind behind them down that home straight. Chris Derrick, twice US cross-country champion, right at the back of the field. But even he, in that red vest, will be running at a very, very useful tempo. Well, there is Mo Farah, wearing 26 in his shorts, just loping along. He's always very, very calm and controlled in his distance races. You can see him there right in the centre of the field, going past the athlete in the white vest, down the outside, just trying to not lose too much ground on the front 6 or 8 here. It's got that long, raking stride, which in theory you'd think is not a very economical stride. It's too bouncy. It's a long stride. Certainly not ideal for road racing, but obviously pretty good for track racing. Farah has moved up to about 8th. Well, we join the 5,000 metres they go through with 6 laps to run. Mo Farah's moved right up towards the front now. He's in 4th place. It's Stephen Sambu, who leads at the moment. The pace has settled down a little bit indeed. A bit of a clip there for Kejelcha, I think, on the outside in about 7th place, as he tried to get out of a box. And Farah right on the heels of the red-vested Jeffrey Kamworror. Certainly has slowed a little bit as they come to 7 laps done. Sambu leading. Also looking strong up there is Eric Jenkins, who had a wonderful indoor season, won the Millrose Games Mile in New York back in February in 3:53. He's got enormous speed as well. But there is a degree of bunching. The pace has certainly slowed a little bit as they come towards 3,000 metres when they go through the line. 5 laps to run at this point. Kejelcha, long-legged 19-year-old in the blue, moving down the outside, loping along. They go through in 7:51. Well, it's 6 or 7 seconds outside the tempo that was requested. It certainly has slowed off over these last 2 or 3 laps. They've lost a lot of the hard work that was done earlier on. They're approaching 4,000 metres in the men's 5,000. 2.5 laps to run. Kamworror at the front. Mo Farah right on his shoulder. Kejelcha in 4th place, looking very relaxed indeed. The youngster has an enormous turn of speed. Farah, remember, the quickest of all this field, over 1,500 metres. He has the best closing speed in middle distance races. Is he going to have it today? He's looking relaxed as the Olympic and world champion, as they really have settled down now. I expected Kamworror, who took the lead with 4.5 laps to go, to really punish them in his final mile, but that hasn't been the case. You can see moving around the outside there as they go through with 2 laps to run. The clock on about 11:03, 11:04. A Cheptegei, I think it is. And he might well be a danger as well in the yellow vest. 5 men, you could almost throw a blanket over them. On the inside in the red is Kamworror. He was the one who said he felt he could beat Farah on this occasion, but he was out-sprinted by the Briton at the World Championships 2 years ago in Beijing, despite a 1:52 for the last 800 metres. Well, they're leaving this very late because nobody has wound it up yet, and they have to take control. They have to wrestle back control of the race from Farah over these last 2 or 3 laps, and nobody's doing it. And yet again, I feel they're playing into the hands of the Olympic champion. The Britain controlling things. They're really not shifting fast at the moment. Look at that, they're bunching. You can see them almost chomping at the bit on the shoulder of Mo Farah, and yet they will not take the lead. Kamworror back in 4th place as they come to the bell.
Well, Mo Farah in absolutely the perfect position, exactly where he wants to be, on the inside, forcing the others to go round. Kejelcha down into 3rd place, Kamworror slipping away, and this is vintage Farah down the back straight with 300 to go.
Albert Ropit is on the shoulder of Mo Farah with 250 metres to run. The Briton now can wind it up from here. Can the others stay with him? Can they threaten? The long legs of Kejelcha moving down the outside with 200 to run. Kamworror is there as well, moving through in the slipstream of the tall Ethiopian. But Farah holding the inside line, running the shortest bend. He's running a metre or 2 less than the others around this bend, and he's in the front at the moment. Kejelcha on his shoulder, Kamworror right behind him. Now they kick for home. Has Farah got the pace to hold off the young Ethiopian? They move away from Kamworror in 3rd place, and it is indeed Mo Farah who's going to take this one once again. Farah all the way down the home straight, takes the win, and the last lap there from Farah I got at around 55.3 seconds. Kejelcha gave it such a hard go, but he felt he could outsprint the man who again and again and again has shown these athletes that he will not be outsprinted. Why do they believe they can? Nobody tested him over those final 3 or 4 laps. Nobody drew the sting from his tail. And Farah came back as ever and stung them to death with a stunning last 200 metres and takes the win over most of his major rivals that he will meet in London in 10 weeks' time.
Well, if that's a marker to lay down for London in 10 weeks' time, that is quite a statement. Yet again, as we say, Mo Farah asked all the questions. Does he have the speed? Yes, he does. Does he have the desire? Yes, he does. Do his opponents have another way to try and beat him? And the answer, once again, is no, they don't. It's like a puzzle. And every time, Farah has another gear, looks around, and you feel even there, He's not in fifth gear, he's probably in 3.5. There's more to come, and Kejelcha eventually admits that he's beaten, and the trademark celebration for Mo Farah. What a performance. To try and beat him, and the answer once again is no, they don't. It's like a puzzle, and every time Farah has another gear, looks around, and you feel even there, he's not in fifth gear, he's probably in 3.5. There's more to come, and Kejelcha eventually admits that he's beaten, and the trademark celebration for Mo